can now confirm that plans for Israel's invasion of Gaza have been officially approved as Israel continues to line up soldiers and military equipment along the border of Gaza. Reserve units are arriving on scene and they are participating in training exercises, getting ready for the inevitable. But I sense that there is a little hesitation on behalf of some of the military commanders over in Israel. I'm starting to think, or I am starting to wonder if they are second guessing this ground invasion. I mean, you really have to think about it. Israel could sit back, not fight this war on the ground at all. They have air superiority. It's not like they're worrying about fighter jets coming from Gaza. They could continue to bomb Gaza, continue to carry out these airstrikes, and never have to actually invade Gaza. Now, I know that the initial reaction to what happened, to the attacks that happened on Israel, I know the initial reaction was one of anger and, oh, we got to go. Everyone was just on straight go mode. We're ready to go to war. We're ready to invade. But now 2 weeks have passed. And over those 2 weeks, some of that rage is dying down. People are starting to think more clearly. And I'm wondering if Netanyahu or some of these military officials are second guessing this invasion. I know that there are outside entities from the U.S. and other places that are encouraging them to not go along with this invasion. But they seem adamant about doing so, yet every day we hear, oh, we're getting ready for the invasion. We're getting prepared for the invasion. But when does the invasion come? Earlier today, there was a council meeting and they were speaking as if this was the eve of the invasion, basically insinuating that tomorrow would be the day, but we've already heard that multiple times. Now, like I said, Israel could just continue doing what they're doing. Airstrikes, bombing Gaza. And I think that may even be a smarter approach for Israel, because if they invade on the ground, this is going to get bloody. In the initial days after the attack on Israel, they were claiming, oh, we'll go in on the ground. The invasion will last for about 3 weeks before we complete our mission, and then we'll be done. Now they're saying it's going to take years. Yesterday, I heard some of these officials say that it may take a decade. A decade. Now, you got to believe that Hamas, they must have already been preparing for a response before they even carried out their initial attack. They knew that Israel was going to retaliate. So if they're smart, then they would have already been getting ready before they even struck first, right? But now they've had 2 more weeks to dig in, to get ready. And I can tell you right now, it doesn't matter how well equipped your military is. It doesn't matter how sophisticated their weapons are. When you have a military go into a land that's not theirs, it's always dangerous. There's a such thing as home field advantage. Look at wars like Vietnam and things like that, where you have a superior military force going up against people whose weapons are inferior, going up against people with no military training, and you get your asses kicked. Because these people know the land, they know the regions, they know where to go, they're dug in, they got their booby traps set. This is going to be a very, very deadly and bloody battle. It's easy to think, oh, we're just going to go in there and crush everyone. That's what we said after 9/11. Look how long we were in the Middle East. Soldiers are still getting attacked in Iraq to this day. So it's not going to be easy. And a lot of lives are going to be lost. And I'm wondering if they're just, maybe reevaluating the situation, considering no longer going forward with a ground campaign while keeping the air campaign going. But also there's another factor. There's these hostages. That's another thing that I believe may be delaying this invasion. Hamas is holding these hostages over Israel's and the U.S.'s head. Just yesterday, they released 2 hostages, and their father was actually the father of one of these hostages was actually on News Nation speaking about this. I want to go ahead and show you this clip, and then I'll be right back with more thoughts.
Can you tell us how they're doing tonight, sir?
They're doing very well. I spoke with Natalie. She sounds very, very happy, very, very good. She's
It's okay, sir. Take your time. You can put your earpiece back in. We know this is an emotional time.
So I spoke to my daughter. She feels good. She doesn't hurt. Hello?
Yes, yeah, I got you, sir. Okay. So you spoke to your daughter, and she wasn't hurt at all. How is her emotional state? I mean, did she talk at all about what she'd been through, Yuri?
No, she's not. But she said they treat her nice and everything is good.
Oh, that's such a relief. I can't imagine.
When she want to come home.
Did she tell you when she'll be home?
Natalie's birthday. No, but Natalie's birthday, it's on the next week, on the 24th. So hopefully she's going to be home for her birthday. She'll be 18 years old.
That'll be incredible. How did you get the news, Yuri? How did you find out that they were alive and that they were free?
I got pictures from the Israeli TVs. They sent me from Israel that they are going to release the adult and teenager. I hope was my daughter and my ex-wife. And then I got more news that they released them. The IDF called me and they told me they're going to meet them. They met them, and then my daughter called me.
Mm. Did you know, Yuri, did you have any kind of information that they were alive before you heard about those pictures, or were you just totally in the dark for the last couple of weeks?
I was in the dark for the last couple of weeks.
I can't imagine what that must have been like. I heard that you got a call from President Biden. What did he say?
He was very, very happy. I was thank him for his support, for his effort to release Natalie and Judith, and hopefully to release the rest of the hostages.
Yeah, that's obviously the hope right now, sir. Did you get any information from Natalie about whether she saw other hostages? Do you have any indication if she was able to see if anyone else was alive?
No, she did not talk about other hostages.
How often had you talked to President Biden?
She just talked about herself.
Was it just today?
I'm sorry?
How often had you spoken with the president? Was it just today when he called to tell you that she was alive, or had you talked to him before?
I was in a Zoom with him and other families about a week ago, but it's the first time I talked to him live.
Yeah, that's just amazing. And any idea how Natalie was treated by Hamas? I mean, you say that she's in good condition right now. Did she sound like herself? Did you get any sense of sort of what she's been through?
She sounds like herself, and she did not talk about how they treat her, but she looked very good.
I had read some reports that Judith had some kind of medical issue, and that perhaps that had something to do with the release. I mean, do you know, was she have any kind of medical concerns? Was that part of all of this?
I asked Natalie about it, and she told me that she got just a scratch in her hand, but she's very, very good. I saw a picture of her, and
good.
she looks very good.
Yeah, oh gosh, what a relief. Your son was on with Elizabeth Vargas on News Nation earlier tonight. I want to play what he said.
What's the first thing you want to tell your sister and your stepmom?
I don't think there's going to be words. I think I'm just going to hug them and just not let them go. I don't think there are words to describe the emotions that we're going to be feeling.
I mean, to hear your son say that and to talk with you right now, I mean, I just can't imagine what this feels like, Yuri, and the fact that they're going to be home soon. It's just amazing.
Yes. I was waiting for this day for 2 weeks, and this is the best day of my life.
Did you get any other information about where they were held? I mean, we've heard so much about tunnels. Have you been briefed at all on that?
No information, not from Judith and not from Natalie.
Is there a timeline on when they'll return? I mean, I know you mentioned her birthday is next week.
They're going to return next week. We did not set up a date yet, but next week.
Okay. I mean, as you know, there's, close to 200 other families right now seeing what happened with Natalie and Judith, and it gives them so much hope. And there hasn't been a lot of hope the last couple of weeks. What do you say to the other families, Yuri? Because you guys have been in this together.
I say pray, and hopefully for good news. I pray for all the hostages to come back home.
Yeah. Well, listen, we really appreciate you coming on with us again. Our thoughts and prayers have been with your family. Ever since I saw you on with Chris again, it's just like every day we were hoping, and a lot of people were losing hope, but I think this shows that, miracles can happen, and hopefully this is a good sign for the other Israelis and Americans right now who are being held by Hamas. So, Yuri, thank you for coming on. We appreciate it.
I thank you very, very much.
I can't begin to imagine being in the position that man is in. Seeing him get emotional, he's having a hard time talking about it. It has to be very scary knowing that one of your loved ones is being held hostage in another country. You know what I mean? But as I was saying earlier, these hostages are being used to delay this ground invasion. They're being used strategically. A lot of people are saying, oh, look, they kept the hostages alive. See, these people aren't as bad as you said they were. They captured hostages and they kept them alive. I hate that I have to, be the bearer of bad news. I hate that I have to always be the one preaching common sense. But what do you think the point of hostages are? Hostages are no good dead. Of course Hamas is keeping some of these hostages alive so they can use them as bargaining chips, as bargaining tools. You don't capture a bunch of hostages and kill all of them because then you have no more leverage. Of course, they're keeping these hostages alive. I keep seeing people online, oh my God, Hamas is great. They kept the hostages alive. See, they're not animals. These are good people. Good people? Did you forget that they kidnapped these people to begin with? Why are we cheering on a terrorist organization for keeping hostages alive after infiltrating another country, killing 1,000 people and kidnapping all of these women? What do you mean? I'm not going to praise them for giving them some water and some bread to keep them alive for a couple of weeks. No. Common sense tells you they're going to keep these people alive. Because this is one of the only, like I said, bargaining chips that they can bring to the table. When it comes time to try to negotiate a ceasefire, try to bring some type of form of peace, when it comes to trying to stop Israel from doing this or America from doing that, these hostages are what, they're using. So all of this astonishment and all of this praise that these people took care of the hostages, it's actually very idiotic. Some of the stupidest things that I've ever seen online. But then again, it's the modern day internet, and people are really dumb. Let's just say that. But I'm glad these hostages were freed. There are tons more hostages. Who knows what may happen to them? I don't know if this is the main reason that Israel is hesitating, or if they're just second guessing what may happen on the ground if they enter Gaza. But we will see. I'll continue to monitor the situation. For now, let me know your thoughts down in the comments below. If you're feeling generous, drop a super thanks. But if you want to support my channel for free, you could do so by liking this video, sharing this video, hitting that subscribe button, ringing that notification bell. And as always, I'll talk to you all in the next video.